Well, it's that time of the day again, ladies and gents, as we dive into the world of My Hero Academia today. As just before we start, quick little note: I humbly apologize if you hear certain animal sounds in the background. We here at my apartment we got a cat, so the cat that we got is very needy. So he is sitting on my chair right now, just vibing with me, and hopefully he doesn't meow or make his presence known. But anyway, let's go ahead and dive in today. Chapter 309 is titled I Can't Stay Being a Kid. So if you remember last time, Deku proceeded to one-shot and beat the crap out of Muscular. So that's great. We saw some growth. We saw Hero Deku with Gran Torino's cape and full mask. So that was cool. But this chapter, we kind of get a bit more foreshadowing to a theory that I was going to have a video up on Sunday. However, I was going to bring a guest on for that video, and they had to reschedule. So that video will be up a bit later than normal, or I guess a bit later than I wanted it to. But pretty much, quick little side note: Bakugo is not in this chapter. This chapter is going to focus mostly on Deku, All Might, and Hawks and Endeavor. So just know that real quick. So after Deku stops Muscular, we then see that he returns to All Might real quick. An interesting thing here is All Might asks about Deku's hand condition, and Deku says he's fine thanks to All Might, who brought/ordered him a compression gauntlet from America. And then Hawks calls All Might to ask how he's doing. So the cool thing here is I believe the compression gauntlet is the whatchamacallit we saw from Two Heroes. So that is pretty cool, if you ask me. Deku will return to his mother in this chapter as well, because of an interesting that happens at the end here. So we then hear that All Might explains All for One to Deku's mom, and Deku has to explain to her that he can't return to UA because there is a possibility that Shigaraki will attack the school, which makes sense, right? And obviously his mom doesn't want him to go, but he has to. As it says right here, his mom doesn't want Deku to go, but Deku thanks her for always making him smile and assures her that he'll definitely return home. All Might then makes his resolve that he'll go together with Deku as well. Okay, so here we go. This part, it says Deku visits Gran Torino and asks him about the meeting with the predecessors. Torino apologizes to him because he couldn't kill Shigaraki. And then he says, don't be too stubborn. Sometimes killing can be your salvation. So there's an increasingly big theme here about whether or not Deku can kill Shigaraki. Because we haven't seen Deku kill anyone as of now yet. So this big theme here. But you also have to keep in mind the theme that All Might promises to go with Deku as well. Now this is big because we then see that Deku teams up with the rest of the heroes as well, as we hear a panel of them, as you see a panel of Deku with Hawks and Endeavor. So it looks like Deku's teaming up with the heroes using Gran Torino's cape in order to, I guess, either A, start fighting back, or B, take a more direct approach and take on Shigaraki firsthand. We then see Gran Torino gives his cape to Deku and says Deku should wear it before he attacks the League of Villains. Last page shows Deku wrapping his cape around his neck and teaming up with Hawks, Endeavor, and All Might. The chapter ends with a new resolve: the heroes are starting up again. Now, before we end here, this chapter is pretty much just a hype chapter for the next up-and-coming themes. I just want to say that with All Might directly going with Deku, Hawks, and Endeavor, I see this setup for All Might dying quite quickly, or not. Sorry, All Might. I believe that All Might was going to die in the series sometime, but it looks like they are setting up this because obviously with All Might going with him, there's not much he can do in terms of power and or quirk. So he's kind of just going with him in order to, I guess, make Deku and his mother feel safe. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Will All Might die in this arc, or will he survive? What exactly do you think the heroes are going to do to retaliate? It's all coming back. It's all hyping up. You thought the war arc was, you know, a big arc. I'm thinking this final arc in My Hero is going to be something quite like none other, if you ask me. But it's just me.